you guys. Very positive, lots of smiles. I watched Vincent's show just now on YouTube. On the link you sent me, it was really nice to see him. Of course, memories rolling back the time, and he's very confident looking towards the finals.
Awesome, you know, and I'm sure your fans too, they will be saying, wow, look at Osaze, and you've not aged, you've not changed one bit. Why did you retire? Why are you not playing for the Super Eagles?
That's the Nigerian in me, you know. We stay young for long, right? So it's a special nation, you know, in every way. We're a special nation. I just saw our boys praying for, you know, those who lost their lives because of the game we all love so much. So, you know, there is a reason why we are African giants in so many ways, including football. We dominate for a reason. We are very talented. We're very strong. We are at the same time also a praying nation. So, you know, we tick all the boxes.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's get into the AFCON. Osaze, what sort of AFCON has it been for Team Nigeria? What's your take? Have you been pleased with the performance of the Super Eagles?
Not in every game, I would say, personally. But yeah, the boys leave nothing on the pitch, you know. But I would like to see more convincing wins. Probably last game it was against South Africa, and I remember my game against South Africa was the first ever Nations Cup game for myself, and we won 4-0. So I would like to see Super Eagles being the giants on this stage, if at least in the group stages, have a convincing victory. So far I haven't seen it because we're playing like a little bit defensive. We're not like what we used to see from Nigeria. Is a bit different this year. You know, it's a bit less creative in the middle. It's more hardworking players, you know, keeping it simple. We're playing 3 at the back. Then what makes the difference for us is the skillful wingers that we have and a fast striker who, you know, who is good with crosses as well. You know, we're just waiting for Osaze to start scoring as well. And I think we have no complaints, you know. It doesn't look like Nigeria that we know, but it's, you know, you can't beat the result is more important for now, I think.
That's right, you know, and Osaze is scoring, but VAR keeps saying no, you know, so let's just hope that on Sunday, VAR will say yes to Osaze's goal. Now, people will say the result matters, and you've raised some concerns, particularly that they're playing with the handbrakes on, you know, and they're a bit stiff with their creativity. If they change that, will it make a difference on Sunday?
You know, I just completed. People say, where have you been all this time? I just finished golf studies in the University of Birmingham here. It took me 4 years. So I want to be an ambassador of the game to Nigeria and Africa as a whole. And there is a saying here. It says, when something works, why change it? So far, something has been working. You don't want to do massive changes. But last game showed that there's a reason we have more than 11 players on the bench. And I think the way people are, we see tired legs, right? I saw you mentioning Lookman looked tired a bit. It's the first time we changed Osaze. There was few tired legs, but you know, looking at our squad, you could see that there is enough talent there. There's depth in the team that you know, someone else can come in. And we remember the story of Sunday Mba as well. You know, the last time we won the AFCON. So it's not only the big names who have been protested and proven. With our goalkeeper Mobali as well, we can see that some people just take their chance. They just get a chance and they take it. And I think myself, as a young guy who just had a chance in AFCON, I also took my chance. It was a two-way for me, very high and very low point. First game scoring, last game crying over a penalty. So yeah,
that's football. I'm going to take you to Lagos now.
Osaze, I mean, it's been a long time. As you said, you've been doing some studies in Birmingham, 4 years you've been away for a while. Okay, for you now, you've been watching the Africa Cup of Nations. There's something different about this tournament. I mean, I listened to Motsepo. We'll listen to him much later on the program, talking about how this is the best AFCON ever. You've been watching the Africa Cup of Nations. What have you seen concerning the Super Eagles and all other teams that have been playing so far?
I think generally the level of football is much better than it used to be. I think the Pep Guardiolas of this world are revolutionizing football completely, because you see even in AFCON they try to play out the back. There's no like direct football anymore. So that's why I think our boys are a bit tired, because we have the smaller teams who are really good in possession of the ball as well. And we have to sweat actually for our victories, because the general level has gone up. You don't expect a team like Equatorial Guinea to beat the host 4-0. You know, in African Cup of Nations, there were other surprise results. So general level is going up in African football. But luckily for us, and we're still the giants, we're still the big boys. So no surprise, we have a final Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria this year.
What do you think the team can actually do differently? I mean, goals have been something that we haven't seen, the super good scoring. I mean, the only game they had 2 goals was, of course, against Cameroon. That was the only goal they scored 2 goals. Ademola Lookman scoring both goals. We haven't seen that. I mean, what can they do differently? I mean, if you really want to put in some words to maybe get the goals away.
Yeah, no, we're not creating enough chances. Obviously, the defenders are careful with Victor Osimhen but when you play alone, you kind of make it easier for the opposition. Nigeria is always known to take the game to the opposition, but now you see our players, they kind of look like they park the bus, as the English say. You know, we kind of wait for our chance to go on a counter-attack, which is normally not how we play. But I think we're getting away with it because we're keeping the clean sheets, and we have the skillful players who can make the difference on the wings. But in general, I don't think we're creating enough chances as we normally do in games. And that's why we have to squeeze results in some games, and we're not winning like with a lot of conviction. So, but you know, it's now we're in the final. We can build from this. This is a solid platform to build from. But I would like to see, you know, more chances for Victor Osimhen, for instance, scoring. But we're playing a bit defensive. We're already 3 at the back, and the midfielders we have are slightly in the middle. They are not creative enough, because we moved from having people like JJ Okocha and Oruma in the middle to players who keep it just simple, you know. It works, so we won't complain, but probably if we want to compete on higher level, let's say in the World Cups, to get further, we cannot play it too safe. So I would like to see character, because we are Nigerians, we're known for character. And, you know, the big stage comes out, the finals, maybe that's when our voice will actually mix it up a little bit, go for it, because against the host, as I watched yesterday's Vincent Nyema's comments, he smiles a lot, you know, but he plays the game in his head before the match. So I hope they can show that character, because that's what it takes to win finals.
I mean, we've seen our countries playing against host nations. Sometimes it's difficult. The crowd, for instance, yes, we beat them at the group stage. And that was before they woke up, because it was like the Equatorial Guinea 4-0 loss actually woke them up. They had to let their coach go, thinking they won't qualify. MSFI came in, and he has been taking the team so far. And he's been saying it's all miraculous. Now against Nigeria, with the crowd, the support and everything, what should the players do to block off everything and just focus on winning the game?
Well, we would love to say history repeats itself, right? So yeah. Hopefully the history repeats itself. We beat them again in this tournament. But I think we have the upper hand emotionally, maybe mentally. We know we've already, you know, had a good performance against them with the support of the crowd. So I think the boys will have that in the back of their minds, that during this tournament they already won. But at the same time, you know, a good start is very important. We have all the talents. We have a team with more talented players than Cote d'Ivoire does. They're a bit maybe more physical side than us. But I say Nigeria always. If we match them physically, they cannot match us for skill. So, and yeah, that would be my hopes, that all this skill, they now come out. You know, in this game, we want to unlock their defense, because they've conceded 4 goals against Equatorial Guinea. So there is some places to exploit. I'm sure they will show them the videos, the images of where those goals came from. And hopefully our boys will, you know, do the same thing and use those weak areas in their team, because scoring will be important. And if we can score first, obviously, it will help us, you know, to keep their fans and all the home support quiet.
That's right. We need to silence them. Also, psychology is very important, you know, in this sort of game. I want to put this team into your hands. Let's say you're the coach, sit with this team before the game. What will you be saying to them?
The main thing is to congratulate the boys already. They've done so great. You know, even if we don't win the trophy now, I think Nigerians will be happy. We're in the finals. That's the minimum. Encouragement, a lot of encouragement, but then you remind them that this is the time, always an opportunity to make name, that you can cruise for the rest of your life. You know, it's I think everybody knows. You players don't need to be told. We all remember the days when we watched the Atlanta '96. You know, we've seen Nigeria win the African Cup of Nations. You know, the last 10 years ago. You know what it means, lifting a trophy, and in these circumstances against the host becomes even more special. So they are all grown-ups. They know what's at stake. The gold is not silver. Silver is good, but it's not gold. So, yeah, I think the talent is there. As you said, psychology. I will always encourage my players. I will, you know, never say to them, you make a mistake, go again. Just keep going. Trust in each other. We trust in the teammates. They look solid as a unit, but I think offensively we need to do more. So this time, let the flair come out, the flair that we have. We might need a bit more chances, you know, to create more chances for ourselves.